Oh, so you done other stuff. Oh, Black Twitter! Hi everyone, I'm Soraya Rhea, and thanks for tuning in for my review of y'all. I was about to say 90 Day Fiance, Married at First Sight, season 9, episode 4. I'm mad. I'm mad, y'all. Yeah, I'm like actually like upset, like legit upset after this episode. So I've got a lot to talk about in that regard. I cannot punish my beautiful island for what went down in my island. So, as we still have here my Antiguan artwork in the background, I'm wearing Antiguan colors, got a different bracelets on. Yes, and then we gotta sip some tea, y'all. We gotta sip some tea. And of course, I gotta do it with my Antigua mug. All right, I'm just gonna get right into it. Well, first of all, I will say this. Twitter has no chill. I mean, some of my favorite tweets were there was one tweet about Gianna and Greg's back rub looked like they met at Bible study. Oh my gosh. Somebody tweeted that they are going to own a church one day. And someone else said that Deanna was dressed like she was the first lady on the beach with that little cover up thing. Like, oh my gosh. Someone else said that, oh, Iris is talking too much. Just and Keith is just like, let's quiet it down. Someone tweeted about Amber's feet. I didn't see Amber's feet, so I didn't really get that one. But they were tweeting about Elizabeth's dad, her creepy dad. Someone else tweeted about, oh, even Elizabeth being in the tub while being on her period. Like, what's up with that? That was that was hilarious. And then there was a bunch of tweets about, like, what are Keith and Matt doing on this show? Particularly Keith. Like, let's be real. Like, it's really Keith. But, like, they're just like, what's up with these two? You know? Like, why are they really on the show? For real, for real. Like, they must have been like, like, really, like, dragged on in a way. But Keith, like, Keith is so beautiful. I mean, that man is sexy. Lord have mercy. Yeah. Anyway, but do not sleep on Greg. Y'all do not sleep on Greg. Greg is a good guy. Like, I already asked from first episode, like, how Greg, you being in the church and, like, you can't find a woman, Greg. Like, like, I don't know if I believe that. So, no, Greg, you up there, right there. There would be enough woman, okay? Enough Christian woman, that will be lining up, okay, if y'all don't work out. But no, I'm still rooting for everybody, no matter what. Why am I mad? All right, two major things, and I feel like these are the major things that for me that happened in this episode that are truly worth talking about. Iris. I've been calling out Iris from day one. Okay, I've been calling out Iris from episode 1 to give us a deeper reason about her virginity and to define and expand on her definition of purity and really, like, just give us a little bit more. Because all Iris has been saying was, my purity is about my virginity. My virginity is about my purity, whichever way she would say it. And then she would say, it's about me giving it to my husband. I'm saving myself for my husband. And that's all she gave us. That's all. Iris and Keith are laying in the hammock at one point one night, and they're talking, and Keith, so tell me about your ideas about sex. Tell me about, how do you define sex? I mean a young man, but a man, because he ain't young, you ain't 20, but like, who is interested and willing and patient and open to be having that kind of conversation, and that it doesn't go straight to, like, now mind you, we don't know how he was in past. relationships, which he did express that, like, in the past it's just been a lot of physical, which, you know, for a lot of people that's what it is. So to me, the fact that he's able to go there when other people, they'll kind of approach getting to know somebody and getting to know somebody's views on sex and relationships or whatever, is the conversation starts with just like, so how far have you gone? So what have you done? Like, the man is willing to get to know Iris, get to her core. And so he asked her to define sex, and she was like, well, like, my virginity is really just about like intercourse. And so then he reads into that and he's like, oh, so you've done other stuff. Oh, Black Twitter! That Black Twitter called him out and said, it looked like Keith was trying to figure out, like, did she just... But, you know, I mean, people are just be keeping it really real. Okay, I gotta take a sip on that one, okay? He says that, and then Iris is like, you know, and of course they cut, commercial, come right back to it, and she's just still right here with the fingers. And then she's just like... And, I mean, what I would say is, I mean, Keith, you know, I mean, he didn't probe her, at least not on camera. And he just was like, oh, okay, you know, just left it at that. And, you know, and I think let her feel actually really comfortable about it. But we're going to call you out, Iris, because we need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation because Iris then basically explains, yeah, like, her purity, her virginity is linked to just intercourse. And that's it. Like, she hasn't gone all the way. And that's what it is. So my thing is, here's what it is, Iris. So one, you got to first define you have to define yourself, because if you're going to come out here talking about, I want the whitest of white dresses, white. I don't want eggshell. I don't want, you know, off-white. I don't want almond. I don't want, I want height. Okay. I mean, like, if you going to come with that, mama, okay, sis, if you going to come with that, boo-boo, you it needs to follow through. Okay, if you're gonna come real hard, you need to follow it through. So one, define yourself. What are you? Who are you? What are you? Are you a follower of Christ? Where this purity thing comes from, where? Because I mean, look, there are other ways. There are other people. There are non-Christians who choose to be celibate until marriage or whatever, right? Okay, sure, I guess, you know, for particular reasons, right? Okay, so it could be that, right? But ain't nobody using the word pure and purity. That is a very religious-like word, right? Okay, and then again, remember, one of the things that I have been saying from episode 1 was that umbrella of purity, when you pigeonhole it to be ascribed to intercourse and sex and not doing something and waiting on something, whatever, it's like, when that thing ain't there, then what does purity mean? So define what you are, let us know what you are, and then my thing is, okay, are you saying that in the past, before you embraced the definition of purity and before you chose to officially wait until you were married to be physically intimate with your spouse, you know, you once did things that you would not do right now? Because the question is had you not married Keith and you met him and y'all were dating, would you be doing all those other sexual things that you said that you have done, or you've been doing, whatever? Would you still be doing that? Would you still be doing it as an unmarried person? That's the question. Because if it is a yes, then to me, your definition of purity falls. It crumbles. Okay, you can't. Those things do not go together, right? Now, again, if you are a Christian, you ascribe to the message of the gospel, which again is not about judgment, because the blood of Jesus, right, covers everything, right? It does not matter what you've done, what you even will do. The Lord has covered it all. But the idea, though, is what what do you feel is right? What do you feel you are called to do? Like, that's like, at least define that. That what needs to be defined. We do not need to hear again that it's for your husband, it's for your husband, it's for your husband. That like, I genuinely believe that that is not how God wants a bunch of women to just be in their mind. It's for your husband. It's for your husband. Wait for your husband. Wait for your husband. Keep it for your husband. Keep it for. It's for your husband. A gift for your husband. Gift for your husband. For your husband. I do not believe that is the message. It's not, because you know what? For people who do not get married, for whatever reason, it's like your purity, your virginity, your whatever, or your celibacy or whatever. It's like it doesn't have to be tied, and should not first and foremost be tied to another person. It should not be. Because if that person never comes, then what? You know what I'm saying? Like, it has to first be about you, then about you and the Lord, you and God, your relationship with God. Because if it ain't about that relationship first, what is it about? Like, you know? Unless they are editing you this way and telling you and producing you to be quiet about certain things, or to talk down certain things and then talk up certain things, or stick to these phrases, you know, unless it's that, sister girl, go deeper. Okay. Also, I still question, do you care about your husband's convictions? Right? Do you care? Because especially if your main reason is giving this to my husband, so then what do you want for yourself? What does the husband give to the wife? How about that? You know, let's get some clarification. Okay. What else am I upset about? Greg's response. I mean, everybody was like, oh my gosh, why did, Keith tell the guys that Iris is a virgin? He didn't have to tell her. He didn't have to tell them. That wasn't his place. Like, he could have just said that we're keeping it slow. Like, my wife doesn't have that much experience or whatever. And yes, I agree with that. But, I'm not even going to get on him for that. Not just because he's my favorite. But like, it just, whatever. There are bigger battles for me to fight. So, confront. So he lets them know. And who has the biggest reaction? Greg, Bible believing, Jesus claiming, in Jesus' name praying. Greg is over here talking about, what? Oh my gosh. Whoa. And he's like, I mean, more power to him. I'm just glad it wasn't me. What? How dare you? Greg, I swear, unless you said that line attributed to something else, the fact that you say that, how dare you? You are not a Christian man. You are not a man of God. If you were to shame anyone, man or woman, who chooses to be celibate until marriage, and to even act like that response makes it seem like you don't understand. What the hell Bible are you reading? Or maybe you ain't reading the Bible, boo. Okay? What are you... Then close that book. Stop praying in Jesus' name. I need you to stop talking about, well, I can't have fear and trust God at the same time. Brother, I do not want to hear any of it. Clear your name. Let us know why you had that reaction, unless that reaction was completely taken out of context and we misunderstood. Because if that was your real reaction, boo, whoa. You're not out here talking about, I'm not religious, but I'm just more spiritual. I just kind of do a little bit dabble here and there, whatever. You straight up here claiming Christianity, claiming Jesus, claiming the Bible, talking about deacon this and in the church and whatever, praying. No. How dare you? Yes, boo. Okay? Yes. Elizabeth and JB, I will still say that Beth, is she is perfect for the show. I stand by that. I still think she is the best candidate to date, particularly on this season. She's open. She's committed to the process. She lets us know how she's feeling. She gives it her all. I mean, she's in it, and but then she's also looking forward. Like, she's good. Jamie describes her as being vibrant, animated, exuberant. Perfect description of her. She just says whatever's on her mind, and she's always thinking something, right? So it's from like, oh my gosh, look at the birds. Oh my gosh, look at the birds, are so cute. And then she goes off and like, oh my gosh, I want to swim with a shark, like close enough so I could see its gills. And then she's like, what's the first thing that you want to explore on the island besides me? And then she moves on to like, I think we're gonna have fun cooking together. I would eat with you. I think we'd have fun eating together. And I just want to make you happy. Like I just this is forever. I just want to make you happy. I mean, she is in it for the process. Like, Elizabeth, girl, you good. Hats off to you. Applause. Mm-hmm. But the biggest thing that happened with Elizabeth and Jamie was that after they played the volleyball, then they split up, guys, girls, they missed each other with having lunch. What I love about Elizabeth, again, homegirl, she's committed to the process, and she seems like she will do anything for her man, but she let him know when she was not happy. And what she said was, how were you not looking for me? I love a woman like that. She's so confident, and she wants to be cared for. And she did not feel cared for by feeling like she wasn't looked for. And even though Jamie tried to throw it back at her, and she kind of took it as well in the end, because they were both like, okay, fine, we both miscommunicated, we both had kind of expectations, which was true, but I feel you, Elizabeth, a little bit more. You should have been looking for me. Yes, that's where I could get on the man-woman role kind of things, where yes, I would say, man, you can come with you can search for me first. Yes. And then Jamie kind of got a little defensive, and he did admit to, like, when he's kind of confronted with stuff like that, then he just shuts down. So the only thing I will say to Jamie is, I hear you, but to me, and like, I don't like it when people have a problem being held accountable for something. Like, how are you going to be in a relationship and not be willing to be confronted when somebody feels slighted, or where they feel like, you know what, I didn't like that you did that, or whatever. You're just going to keep shutting down. And here's what I understand. When people want to get on Gianna for being 10 years single, oh my gosh, you don't have any experience, you don't have whatever. And then Iris, she's a virgin, so she doesn't have sexual experience or whatever. But all of you people who done have all the experience in the world, Jamie done live with girlfriends, Elizabeth done live with people, right? They're just so experienced, so much experience. But what has it taught you? It's taught you that you can still just shut down. But honestly, what did it teach you? Because you really kind of didn't. I mean, to me, I feel like Elizabeth was the one that really kind of came with the approach. Like, she approached you, she let you know, she did the confrontation. You were just kind of whatever, and then you came with the defensive, talking about what did Jamie say? He said, oh, I'm not a mind reader. Because she was like, why didn't you look for me? Why didn't you think that I would have, like, done something? She kind of said something, whatever. And he was like, well, I'm not a mind reader. So he went real defensive, real quick. So again, all of your experience taught you what? So, and I feel like the only reason why he even kind of backed down was because Elizabeth was, she was willing to, like, see, like, okay, all right, like, fine, we both did some miscommunication, but I don't think he doesn't seem like he could ever be, like, maybe the first one to just kind of say sorry, be like, okay, you know what, but I didn't think that. And I didn't whatever, but you know what? If you felt that way, I definitely don't want you feeling that way. I definitely don't want you feeling like I wasn't thinking about you or wasn't looking for you. So sorry, Anyway, so Gianna and Greg, the thing with Gianna and Greg, was, I mean, which I already kind of talked about it with the, like what I saw on Twitter was, just they're just awkward with it, which I guess is more because of Deanna's weird walls that she's having up. I feel like Gianna is acting like Molly from the Boston season. Ooh, Molly, who was with John, who did John wrong. John, you were a good husband. John, you were a good husband. You were committed to the end. But yeah, Molly, who was with John, who is now engaged to Dr. Jessica. Okay. So yeah, I feel like Gianna has up those walls like Molly. Molly was out here talking about my husband is hot, but like, ew, like I feel gross when he touches me. Like she was like almost Luke-like. It was weird. So Gianna, like it was weird. She asked Greg to give her. They went on the beach to one evening, to have some champagne and talk or whatever. And then she was like, "Give me a massage," But I'm like, you asked him to give you a massage, and it was like she was like a soldier, just straight up. Like homegirl didn't lean back, homegirl didn't relax, and she didn't even the fact that she let Greg put his legs around her. I feel like was big enough, right? So yeah, I don't know. Gianna was good, girl. Was good. Gianna then also complained about getting too many compliments. So Twitter went in on her for that. Oh girl. For the show, okay, entertainment self, Gianna, girl, please, just be committed to the process, okay? In real life, actually, I feel you on that. Yeah, 100 a day or even 50 a day, or like if it just gets like all the time. I think that there are guys that think that women want to hear all the time, "Oh my gosh, you're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so whatever." And it's like, it's not that you don't want to hear that. It's not that you don't need words of affirmation and like things like that, or but I also feel like words of affirmation go deeper than certainly the physical, right? Now they don't know each other that much, so what else is he going to talk about, right? But I think, again, look, there might be some girls, so I'm not talking about those girls that they need that all the time, and that they are just all about the superficial. And if you're not telling them like that they're beautiful 10 times a day, I'm not talking about them chicks, okay? Those of us that want something deeper and more substantive, compliments all the time, it gets, then it becomes like, why are you saying it though? Like, stop. I would rather you give me one compliment a day if it has a deep meaning, it's truly meaningful, and there's substance behind it, rather than 10. I don't know. It's a little much. So I feel you on that, Gianna. The thing though is just it's for the show. So he's awkward with it. He's trying to throw kind of everything at you. He's trying to probably fill the silence that you are keeping quite silent. So I would say let him just stop complaining. Like, don't bring up all the things that you feel like he's doing wrong and that you don't like and whatever. It's just, oh gosh. Anyway, Amber and Matt, not much to say. So they, Matt is so happy that he got matched with her because he's just like, it's effortless, it's perfect, everything is easy. Amber says that it's easy. She hopes that it remains easy. And I'm just like, y'all realize you're on your honeymoon and they call it the honeymoon phase for a reason, right? Amber said something like, "I just feel so great. Like, it feels so easy to have a husband. And like, I feel so good that this is my forever." And look, I get that you're hoping that it is your forever, but it's like, at least, and I know they probably are egged to say these stupid things, right? But, I don't know. I just feel like they're saying all these things and I'm like, y'all realize that 6 months from now, we could be looking right back at these scenes and y'all could straight up not be together. Like, you know, and then so Amber and Matt are the only couple so far who have consummated their marriage. Last episode, I thought that Jamie and Elizabeth slept together, but again, it was just the way that they were edited. Elizabeth tells the world that she got her period. So she could sleep with her husband, which I find so interesting. But let's be honest, people. I mean, that is in no way indicative of longevity. We realize that, right? No way. There's no indication. All right? It's nothing. Your easiness, your whatever, it nothing. It means nada. Let me just say one thing to highlight Antigua. Iris and Keith went to swim with stingrays. Amber and Matt went to Devil's Bridge. Greg and Gianna went ziplining. So there's, you know, lots of different lines. And if you didn't catch what one of the tour guides said to Amber and Matt, Antigua is a beautiful island, 108 square miles, that has 365 white sandy beaches all over the island. Yes, okay. And my particular beach is Carlisle Bay in Old Road. Yes. You know that's the best beach. That's the best beach. That's our beach. But yes, y'all, when Twitter was just going on and on about like how fine Keith is, and just I was like, y'all, this is what I was thinking. Triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over. Can't explain why your love, it makes me. Iris, I'm still rooting for you, but I do need you to, like, you know, answer and give us some answers. But like, I'm still rooting for y'all, for real. But you know, Keith, whoo. Keith, do you have a brother? Do you have a brother or a cousin or a young uncle? Okay. Anyway. All right, y'all. So, you know, I'm getting silly at the end. But anyway, all right. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are y'all as angry as I am with some of these things? All right. Or do you think that I am overreacting? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Share this with other people that you know love Married at First Sight. I guess I could say start following me on Twitter, which I don't know if my name is Rhea Saraya or Saraya Rhea. I put it as Saraya Rhea, but then I feel like it's coming up as Rhea Saraya. I don't know. Anyway, I'm still learning this. Hopefully, I guess I'll put that information in the description box. But anyway, so we will see what happens next week. They are still in Antigua for one more week. So yay, we'll still see more of my precious little island. All right. So I will see you guys next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.